There's a very wrong misconception that architecture students think that we are spending 5 years and right out of college we will have our own practices. The biggest challenge I faced is to have that conversation about money.
But how would you do a pricing conversation before, and what is your approach to pricing conversation now?
In our first meeting, we don't miss out the money conversation.
How would you bring that up with me?
We first talk about what you need in a house. And do you know what we do at Right Inspires? I would push and say, do you have any questions for me?
Has there been situations where you have said no because of a price negotiation to a client?
Yeah, of late we do say. They just think that our work ends at just making some drawings. They do not think that we are creating lifestyle for them. A lot of these are not understood, and that is when they are not valuing what an architect brings. It's a very exciting profession to be in, and we can change life around us. When we have that power, why can't it pay us? That should be the approach.
Many of us think building an architecture firm is all about creativity, designing beautiful spaces, working on dream projects, and building something which looks absolutely stunning. But the reality is quite different. Today, we have with us an amazing architect, a business owner with over 2 decades of experience in architecture and design, who has built her own firm and running it successfully. We have with us Pratima Situr.
Thank you.
So happy to have you with us today.
Same here.
See, Pratima, today, I want to break down the expectations versus reality when it comes to architectural industry.
Yeah.
What happens on ground in reality? What are the challenges which people don't talk about? And what does it really take to build and run a successful design business? Can we get started?
Yes.
Fantastic. So the first question for you, Pratima.
Yes.
So why do you think so many architects are there today who put so much of efforts and they're really good at what they do? Years of efforts, but they still struggle with their business growth. Why do you think that happens?
We as architects, we are trained to get our design skills right.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is a very good thing, I would say, looking back, because those are the years where we develop focus, where we learn our craft, and to do it the right way. It is important that we do it with that kind of focus and not get distracted too much with everything around.
Mm-hmm.
So later, that's what the school teaches you, right? Later, as you move forward, is when you start facing the challenges. That's when it's time for you to take action.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't sit back saying these are the problems that I have, but you kind of find a way to respond to those challenges that you face. So our schools teach us the craft. Our schools teach us the skills, and beyond schools is the learning that we need to pick as we go through the life.
Fair, understood. So what do you think is the problem? Is it the market itself for architecture, or do you think it's the approach of the architect?
It is definitely the approach of the architect.
Okay.
I think we all live in our own dream world of glorifying what we do, but coming down to reality and saying, hey, this is what we do. We need to have that conversation with the people who seek our services. So there is no product per se that we give to the no tangible.
Fair.
We can't measure everything that we do, neither in kinds of drawings, nor in terms of the quality of the output. It is felt later once the project is done, and as and when people live and celebrate life in the spaces that we design, probably 10 years later. But that is too late for us to think of a fee and getting that. So to set this expectation of what we do to our clients, the value we bring through our design is the smartness, the business smartness that we need to have.
Fantastic. So let's go back to the basics. Okay, so you've had a long experience in this field. So
Yes.
how did your career start? And during the initial days of your architectural career, what were your dreams, or what would your career look like for the Pratima back then?
Yeah. So I was all the time very passionate. I mean, the school and the education, no, the base years of architecture, kind of builds that passion in you for at least people who really connect with it. So I was very passionate about architecture, and to be designing something and realizing that the things that we design and all of that, and I was lucky enough to join the stalwarts in the field, and they mentoring me was a big benefit that I had. Now, with this base, which is very strong, there was no long-term, dream of mine, but it was very short-lived as to, okay, I get excited over getting a project and finishing that project well. It's as short as that. Just you are into that and you do it well. So that's what it was mostly.
Your education is also into architecture?
Yes.
Where did you study?
Yes, I did my architecture in MS Ramaya.
Oh, in Bangalore only.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And how?
Yes.
See, this is for people like me who don't know the domain of architecture. Okay.
Yeah.
How long is the course?
It's a 5-year.
It's a graduation of 5 years.
Yeah, it's a B architecture.
B Arch, which people got.
B-Arch.
Okay.
It's a 5-year course, and long hours in the studio. Literally, you would have 3 hours design studio. It's not like a 50-minute class. So we would have 3 hours, 6 hours design studios where we are doing the design. We would have 3 hours classes altogether, and many nights are spent working on the assignments that we have from the school. So very rarely you get to sleep if you sign up for architecture course. It's a lot of hard work out there,
Okay.
where you're developing your skills. It's not a subject theory education that happens. You're building your skills as an architect. You're building your design skills. You're building your drafting skills. You're building your presentation skills. There's so much more that happens, and it is a little offbeat from the usual education that you do till the 12th
It's theoretical. Yeah.
Yeah. So these architecture schools and education designed is so beautiful that in today's context, many of these design, how the education is designed is applied into Montessori or some kind of alternate schooling techniques.
Wow.
It is applied into some kind of, in the startup culture, how mostly something like this podcast is also something that we do in our schools. Like we do something called as juries, where we are presenting our designs to, the mentors or the architects out there. So it's a lot to do with personality development and a lot to do with our design developing skills. And it's a beautiful, beautiful course to go through. Yeah.
I think a lot of viewers who are watching this would start thinking of that also as a field of education.
Yeah.
But I have a next question, which is just continuing with this.
Yeah.
See, whenever we think education, today all graduation and post-graduation comes with placements.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about placements? Are there
Absolutely.
placements in BARC, or you have to fetch projects for yourself after that?
Absolutely no placements. It doesn't work that way. So there's no concept of placements. There's a few colleges, few new age colleges are trying to do so, because there's so much competition, there's so much pressure, right? Peer pressure also for the students who get into architecture. But there is nothing like placements. You cannot get placed, but you, as a student, you go on to find who kind of you connect with, and you go and find that place for yourself.
Okay.
That's how you approach. I mean, that's how I approached when I graduated from the school. There is internship, which is it was a year earlier now, then became 6 months. Now it's a 4-month thing, where a student goes and picks up a architecture practice and gets that basic knowledge
Fair.
from the place as to how the office functions. And we have a lot of interns who come and say, we are just learning now what really happens in the industry. So though so much is taught in the school, what happens on ground is very different. It's not, you're not industry ready.
Got it.
At the end of your education, you're still not ready. So it's important that you need to do something like a finishing school, which is a continuation of another 3-4 years. You don't need to do masters per se if you want to build buildings, but you need to do a finishing school. So you go to an architect who you really like and connect, the kind of works that the practice does, you connect with that. So you go try to get an experience.
So that's what you meant by I got good mentors initially.
Yes.
Okay, after the education you got a mentor, and that's how your work started.
Yes.
And you're doing a lot of work for the love of work.
Yes.
And how did it affect your personal life?
Yeah. Yes, I must say I am very fortunate that I have good people in my life for the love of me. So they do support the love of my work. It is very, very stressful to see that there's a lot of very less personal time that we can take off, and it kind of affects, in this profession you see a lot are totally dedicated to the profession, where they put aside the personal priorities, and then because this is so exciting, and we are in that loop of resolving things at work. Yeah, but with me, I think I am lucky that I have.
Now, having said that,
Yeah.
till what time was your, I would say, the architecture practice a solo practice before it became a business after your education? How many years did you do a solo practice?
So I actually didn't do solo practice. I started off as an accidental entrepreneur because I was working and my maternity break, moved me onto taking up projects on my own. So that's how I started it. Nothing planned, absolutely no plan. It was just to keep yourself engaged. That's how it started. And I did think that I always thought it's a teamwork that we need to have. And I went on to hire a very young civil engineer those days to at least go around and check on site what is happening, because I had a little baby to take care of.
Got it.
And so that small team was always there. But when you said solo, what I would like to connect and bring that change that it is today at Right Inspires is I was always designing solo. I was the person who is client facing, who is designing, who is doing most of the things around a project, right? And I had juniors who would assist me in this process.
So you are the hero of your business.
Yeah, that's how it started. And right now the change I see, and I am extremely, extremely excited for this journey, is that I have many more Pratimas in my firm now.
Wow.
I have a lot many young architects who are the designers, who are leading and doing the projects there as if it is their own. And we're now building a team of architects. And my dream is to build a team of probably 100 architects and go all over the world and do projects.
All the best for you for doing that. I'm sure that's going to happen. Now, before I come to the question of building more Pratimas in your business, let me close a loop on the time when you were the hero of your business. Yeah. I want you to go back to that time, and if you can list out the top 3 challenges you faced as an entrepreneur. I'm not saying as an individual practitioner, as an entrepreneur, what are the top 3 challenges you faced back then?
See, the biggest challenge I faced is, I think, to have that conversation about money, about the fee. there was a time in the practice where I had very good well-wishing clients who were a lot much older, who saw me as a young architect trying to do something on my own, who would remind me and say, hey, you haven't raised any bill for yourself. Does that come at all in your mind? You know, this used to happen.
Okay.
And then a little later, also there were some who said, hey, you deserve to be paid. What is that we pay you? You know? But a little later is when I realized, as I saw that the more I handled with a lot of enthusiasm and passion, that there were a set of people who wanted to just make use of this opportunity. And when I started building the team, it was not about my expenditure alone. It was
Correct.
about running the office, and that needed some money. And every time I think that I did a good year, a lot of work, but you pay before the March 31st, you pay the government the tax that you need to pay, and then you see the bank balance. It's just, there's nothing there, right? I thought there's something wrong in there, right? So that was something which didn't give me confidence that I could grow. That was something that which always brought that fear in me as to know how do I take up more projects? What if we are not able to do it? And there was, I think, for a little bit of time, I was a little stuck, not knowing how to resolve this.
So if I can summarize what you just said, one was definitely the money mindset.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have gone through it myself, Pratima. I can
Mhm.
totally kind of understand what you're saying. We are so passionate about what we do, we forget about even
Yes.
asking for money. We are
Yeah.
okay to do it for free, kind
Yeah.
of a mindset. That's a mindset challenge. Now that led to, of course, your cash flow challenges. What else was a problem? Why did you feel ki I might not be able to take more projects? Were there operational challenges? What else?
Another interesting thing that happened also is I run a very transparent practice. Everything that happens in the office is known to everybody in the office.
Okay.
Even if it's a last intern. Okay. So looking back at things, this is what I think, that a few years people would work with me and then think that, hey, me hanging around here is too much probably for the firm. You know, as it would be a burden on the firm to pay more salaries,
Okay.
right, for an experienced person of sorts. So they would just move on to, you know, finding something else and then go. And then again, I'm sitting and training another new person. And at what cost are you training people? And where is that value for that time that you spend to train people?
Fair.
This
So-
is another burnout I am actually having to.
So it was like you are not able to show that career path or
Yes.
the what next for the team members in
Yes.
your business
Yes,
back then.
very right.
Fair, understood. So was there also a challenge of because initially you started working with the clients through references?
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
one thing I have seen, Pratima, in references is that when anyone comes through references, especially in the initial time of your business, you cannot say no to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether the project is something you are liking or maybe you are not resonating with it, you will still have to do it.
Yeah.
Was the choice of clients also a problem back then?
Choice of clients was not a problem.
Uh-huh.
It was, I think, we always got good clients, and there was always a time when we had more clients than required of sorts. But I think we weren't prepared to, you know, we were prepared in terms of design skills, but as the team grew, there are a lot many things that you need to do. That preparation was missing. Fair. From our end. But I think we've always had good clients.
Understood.
Yes.
So how did this money mindset change? I think this is one question which all the people in the audience will be very interested to know, understand.
Okay.
What happened? How did the money mindset shift?
I really can't connect to when exactly this happened, but with what intentions. I think I started putting Right Inspires first, you know, on priority, and said that to run Right Inspires, which is a group of talented architects, right? This resource is required.
Mhm.
And I want to retain talent now because we want to go beyond. We want to go beyond, and that needs experienced team.
Correct.
So, what do I do? And then started saying that we have these conversations about money with the client. We will be open to it, and even today I have a hesitation to talk, but I went on to train a young architect who can talk money comfortably, and she did a extremely great job of doing that.
Mhm.
So there was communication. We talked about money, and it was not that when you talk, there is clarity. So there is no ambiguity there. So I think that brought in a big change for us.
Fantastic. So if I can take two key items from here, one, you started putting right inspires first, because
Yes.
it's not about Pratima anymore. It's about an organization,
Yes.
and a lot of people in the organization are dependent on it. And number two, if you are uncomfortable to talk money,
Yeah.
develop someone who can do that.
Yes.
That's also a very interesting takeaway I'm taking from what you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Awesome. So take me through your process. See, I want to just compare before and after. Okay.
Okay.
How would your pricing conversations be with the client? You can think of me as a client and do it. Okay, I want to probably build a villa or something like that.
Let me build that for you.
Yeah, so you will build that for me, and I've come through a reference. I'm more than happy to give you the project. But how would you do a pricing conversation before, and what is your approach to pricing conversation now? Is there a framework? Is there a strategy? Is there a communication? What do you do? I just want to compare before and after.
Okay. So before is when probably before 2022, right? Arun comes and seeks a home design from us, and we show our portfolio of works, what we do, and all of that, explain what it is and everything, and say okay. And we get too excited and we say we will visit the site, we will start design, and we will keep doing next steps, not talking about the money, right?
Perfect.
Till Arun asks for that. We'll wait for you to ask. Let him ask. He probably knows. Right? So slowly we went on to have a website of our own, where we didn't have to really talk of what work we do, but clients, before they came to us, they saw our website.
So your portfolio was there.
Portfolio was there.
Got it.
Clients see our website and then come to us. That was an informed client. So when that happened, there was a lot more awareness at the clients, and to ask, hey, what is your, I mean, that was a bit of a positioning of the brand when there was
Correct.
a website. What is that you charge for us to hire you? This started coming out, from the clients end, because they didn't want to also move a lot, progress a lot more before they
being
know
clear
what
about
the
the
fee
price.
is.
Fair.
So, but today, if there is a client, if you come to office,
I come to you. Someone
Yeah.
has referred me to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In our first meeting, we don't miss out the money conversation.
Now, how would you
Yeah.
bring that up with me?
So,
let's say I have a 60/40 site where I'm planning to build a house.
okay.
I came to you through Shiva Prasad. I'm just taking that as an
Okay.
example. Okay.
Okay.
I'm like, Pratima, I'm so glad to meet you. Okay, this is where I have my site where we are planning to build, and I'm directly coming and meeting you. I'm not meeting your team member. How would you have a conversation?
We first talk about what you need in a house.
Correct.
How did you get to know of us? And do you know what we do at Right Inspires? And I would push and say, do you have any questions for me?
Good point. Okay, so
Do you
I
have
might
any
ask
questions
you a
for
few questions, but
Yeah.
let's say unrelated to pricing.
Yeah.
I will be like,
Yeah.
what is the time you will take? That this all things I'll ask. Okay.
Yes.
Fair.
Yes. Yes.
All that is answered.
Okay. Okay. And I would say, Arun, yeah, we are very excited to do this house for you. But Arun, we are very excited to do this house for you. We would also like to share engagement terms. We work with a retainer fee from the client's end to take to move to the next steps. So the office will share the email with you. Our charges are anywhere between 9 to 11%. of the project cost, and this is at stages, and we collect 10% of the fee value as a retainer fee. Is there anything that I can clarify on this?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for doing this. Audience, this is a demonstration of how can you talk about pricing with your clients. Yeah. Thank you so much, because this is where a lot of people get stuck.
Yeah.
I'm okay to talk about all that I can do for you, but I will never ask you about what you can do for me. That's where the hesitation is.
Yeah.
And you brought it up so well. I mean, it's like it's such a professional conversation. How can I mean, there is nothing I can say. I have to talk about the pricing, I have to pay you, and I have to move forward.
Yeah.
And it's a win-win deal.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I mean, I'm so glad that you have the shift is so evident,
Okay.
and I'm so happy for you. Thank you for sharing it with the audience.
Thank you for approving the framework.
So now my question is, see, as a consumer, okay, not like a
Yes.
business coach, not like a domain expert, but from a point of view of a consumer, I always feel it's not about me, it's about general public, okay? So this is a service. This is a pure service. As you
Yeah.
said, it's very intangible. Somewhere the consumers undervalue this.
Yeah.
Do you also feel it?
Yes,
And
yes,
if yes,
very
why
much.
do you think that happens?
Because they do know. Before we really have the conversation about money, we show them our projects. We allow them to talk to our old clients. They see how happy they are, and they see what we've done for the family. So all of this is known, but still I think there is that mindset to negotiate the fee, and that's something that I'm very uncomfortable with, to have the conversation about negotiation. So frankly, I still need to grow my skills to handle negotiation, because I have a habit of saying yes to anything that comes.
Has there been situations where you have said a no because of a price negotiation to a client?
To a client, yeah, of late we do say no.
Yeah.
Today, the only work I did sitting in the office was to write to a client an email where the client was forcing me to do a fixed price. It just doesn't work as a fixed price, because what they think the home is right now to what we go on to build in the 2-year journey is going to be a lot more evolved.
Correct.
Lot more, finer product. And we cannot fix the fee today. And there was a huge urge for the client to push it in a way for a lump sum fee. And then when we said no, lump sum doesn't work in our field, because we do, if it takes more and beyond 18 months time period, then we get stuck. And when the client had to say that, you from through the contractor who you bring in, you have a clause with them, and for any extra time you go on to have the penalty from the contractor, and you can take that money from the contractor. I said, no, principally by ethics, we take money only from our clients. Right? That is our principle here at Right Inspires. And I would not want to do this project itself if it means the other way around, even if you are telling me to do. I would not like to change what we are doing here. It doesn't put us in the right place. So I think this was bit of a positioning email that I sent out to the client. And the client replied within 5 minutes saying, okay, we agree to what you're saying.
They agreed, by the way.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So you stood ground, and ultimately the
Yes.
client agreed to what you are saying, because it is win-win.
Yes.
Amazing. Got it. So what do you think, as per your observations, what do you think are the misconceptions when it comes to consumers or your customers related to architecture as a service, as an offering? What kind of misconceptions do they carry, because of which probably some things like this is happening, where they are undervaluing or they are over negotiating? What are some of the misconceptions you can think of?
So, see, in our own system, we've seen that when there is a mason involved, right, for work, they pay, because it's a daily labor. And
Okay.
they feel, they feel very bad about not paying the mason.
Because
everyday work.
their life is dependent on the money, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the contractor also, they think that there is a house that he delivers. So there is a tangible product.
Correct.
Right. Now, when it comes to architect, we are doing our drawings, we are doing our details, we are having conversations with contractors, we are fighting for our project, fighting for the clients, we're negotiating prices for them. All of this happens in the background in our offices, and it's not visible. When is this visible? This is the value of work that we do is visible to a client after they live in close to 10 years, probably 5 to 10 years, is when they realize, is when people come and appreciate the house. Many a times are so blinded because the house cost comes as a shocker, right? It's one of the biggest cost for anybody, biggest investment of their lifetime. So they just think that our work ends at just making some drawings, you know. They do not think that we are creating lifestyle for them. We are creating that canvas for them to live there. We are checking in every functional aspects of their living. Like, if they have to, if we do not want their clothes to be scattered around the house, then how much of a laundry space that we need to provide for them, right? So even for the amount of shoes that they have in the house, we are making a place for it. There is so much that is going beyond the tangibles in the work that we do.
Correct.
Which is very hard for anybody to measure. And finally, it is all about how all of this is delivered and the living happens in a very aesthetic way. It's not, definitely, many clients think that architects are just visualizing one, most probably facade. The front elevation, which they call, people think that is what many architects do. It is beyond front elevation or just the color combination. So many clients I've seen at way beyond maturity levels in whatever they are doing. They think that we select only paint shades, colors, right? It is beyond that. We are just watching a movie. When a project comes to us, we're watching a movie of our clients living in that space that we designed for them. It's bringing the hero out of our clients and making their life, more easy. We are positioning our clients. We are giving them like a lifestyle, a base where, this is how you live, of sorts. So a lot of these are not understood, and that is when they are not valuing what an architect brings.
Well said, Pratima. I think the way you are talking about the movie, it's like the analogy is very similar.
Yeah.
You are the director, you are behind the camera.
Yeah.
The masons, the contractors, all these are actors who are visible to the audience.
Yes.
So I just want to explore this. This is very true. See, when you were sharing this, I was going back to the experience of me getting my interior designing done for my home from an architect, and I was thinking, yeah, correct. No, whatever you explained so beautifully, she did that for us.
Yeah.
Now it's been what, 3-4 years that the interiors is done, and we are living in that, and we every single day we remember her.
Yeah.
Whenever I meet, we share all those things. But is there any way? I just want to explore. Is there any way, like in the movies today, directors are very prominent.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was a point when audience used to only go and celebrate heroines and all these things. The directors were never out there. They were not celebrated.
Yeah.
But today directors are being celebrated.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
is there something for you to do, or let's say the architects to do, where you can make this very intangible thing which you are creating for your clients a little more tangible? Is there anything we can do? I don't know. I'm just wanting to explore this entire thing with you in the podcast.
So we've had majority of our clients who value our work a lot. It's only a very few ones who do not understand. Majority of them understand, and they come to us and say that, we don't even want to negotiate your fee because we know what your work is and what you're going to be doing. And there are people who can understand, and this segment of people are mostly bent into art, music, that mind, who again do not value money too much, are the people who are saying this. So we do understand, but how do we make it tangible? How do we
Can we create stories? I'm just thinking out loud right now. Can we create stories of, let's say one of your clients,
testimonial stories or
some kind of a story to show the entire picture of what you just shared a few minutes back? What is the work of architects? What do they actually do?
It's predominantly done. Even we, Right Inspires, we have a few videos on some platforms where we go back to the houses that we build, and the client is also sharing about what they feel about the house. It's a short documentary of the spaces that is done and all of that. It is in the field, it is practiced.
Fantastic.
Like
Amazing.
videos are made, photographs are taken, and before even the social media, it was the magazines who would publish our works, who would say that, hey, this the architect who has done this. And there are a lot of very popular magazines from a long time back, like Inside Outside, Architect's Diary, Architect's Digest. There are a lot of magazines which bring out our works. So
amazing. If you had to give one thing for the young architects today who probably are just starting out, one thing for them to, or let's not take the ones who are starting out, let's say they are already practicing.
Okay.
One thing these architects should stop doing, and one thing these architects should start doing to grow their income, what would that be based on your experience?
To grow their income. To grow their income. Okay. I think we should show up with more confidence. And
that is the one thing that they should start doing.
And we have to tell the world what is that we're doing. I think majority of them don't know. Majority of them think, many don't know what architecture is all about, what architects do, right? Architects are involved in a small, probably your little toilet shelf design or a mirror design to the city design.
Correct.
In the urban scape. That's a variation of scale that we can get into. So at every point in time, we have to tell the mass what value an architect brings.
And what are the ways through which you can share this with the world? 1, 2 or 3 ways as per you.
The simplest today is the social media.
Fair. So one, take pictures of all the work you have done and post it on social media. Okay. So that's one.
The other thing is talk to common people. I think what is missing in our industry is we are self-engrossed in our own world. So many of us architects, we meet in the architects circle. We are not interacting enough with the
customer space
where commoners are there.
Got it.
So, and even if we are, we're not talking enough, right, about the right practices. So even if there is a young architecture student, I think that we have to go talk about what happens in our school. Even if it's a young architect who is interning in an office, they have to go talk about what happens in the office. How is that we do what we do, right? I remember in our when we were in architecture, BArch, we were part of MS Ramaya, so there were other engineering students, and every time the impression of the other engineering students was architects don't have much to do. They're all the time loafing around, around the canteen, library and things like that.
Sorry, but I also had the same view because I am also an engineer.
This is what they would always think. They're never sitting in a class. They're all the time roaming around because that's how our curriculum is designed. We do a 3-hour class or sometimes 6 hours. In between, there are breaks that we can take. We need those short breaks. I mean, that's how even the profession works.
Correct.
We wear what we are comfortable wearing. We we have the time freedom. I mean, we go around. It's not like we need to work between 9 to 6 kind of a scenario. We keep having coffees, and it just feels that it's a easy work. But in the background, there's a lot that is going on, and we need those breaks in between. Like if I'm doing a very intense design, I just switch off from the office. I kind of take some short nap to figure out everything that has to be layered in the design that I need to do.
Fair.
And just after that short nap, I have so much clarity as to what really needs to come together in
But
the
that
design.
awareness in the general public is not there. So what
Yeah.
you are doing.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
the second
Yeah.
thing you're saying. You have to have a lot of
Yeah.
conversations
Conversations.
with the general population who are not into architecture to tell them what you people do.
Yes.
Understood. Got it.
Yes.
So these are the things your architects should start doing.
Yeah.
Can you think
Another
of a thing which?
sensitive area is like talk about design.
Uh-huh.
See, design kind of solves so many problems, right? And we are into designing only. So when we design, we have to we get everything right. So this awareness has to come into the general public as to, it is important to have designed spaces. It is important to have designed cities. It is important to have a designed teacup. It is important to have a designed chair, right? It is very important to have a designed footwear. Like, design is important, and when we get the design right, things become so easy. Everything around it becomes so easy.
Because it's a very proactive thought process put beforehand. Absolutely, with you.
I think we have to talk about that to people and bring that awareness about design.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Got it. And what is that one thing you would recommend the architects to stop doing to grow their income?
Stop doing to grow their income. Okay, if they are, yeah, they should definitely stop getting very excited about the projects as soon as they get it.
Oh, this is interesting. Why do you say so?
So you are so excited about the project that you have to do that everything else, I mean, there is this design that we need to do. Nobody is asking us to do, right? We ourselves are sitting late into the nights to do that.
Uh-huh.
Putting ourselves as a second priority, and we put in more work there. So yes, it is something close to your heart. The design is close to your heart. It takes hours together to kind of get to the final resolve, but value yourself.
Fair.
I think I always put the projects ahead of me. And at some point I felt I had a burnout. And now I tell even my team that, hey, you have a life, go early back home.
It's a part of your life, it's not your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic takeaway there. And now I have a very interesting question for you. Okay, so you said today there are multiple Pratimas in my business. Even if I'm not facing clients, my team can take care of it.
Yeah.
Now I want to dissect this particular thing in multiple ways. So one, how do you find the right people to hire? Okay, let's go one by one. So first I'll start with this. So how did you find these people? Where did you hire? What was your strategy? How did you find these people?
Yeah. At Right Inspires, actually, we kind of hire at the level of internship. So there is work portfolios that architect students make, and we look at that portfolio. We see if they connect, or that similar design language is there in the portfolio of work. So the portfolio is a very strong thing. Today, in the age of AI and everything, you don't know how authentic the portfolios are.
Correct.
Yeah, so we kind of have a interview with the candidates, and we only take up the applications which says that they are interested in, they follow our work, and they're interested in working with us. So only those candidates is we shortlist, and we go on to, further see if they fit
But for an
the
internship
office
first.
For internship. So
Fair.
most often, the interns who work in the office, they like the office, they like the culture, and they are the ones who are staying in the office right now. So it's that journey for them. Like the way I was talking about a finishing school, it's important in architecture to grow deep. It is not that you can work in one office for 1 year, another office another year, and another office another year. That doesn't happen because principally you need to be aligned. And this is also foundation years for the candidate. So it is also about what they are going to be doing later in life. So this kind of, hey, we work on a probation for 4 to 6 months. If things align, we go ahead. If things don't align, then we part ways. That's the conversation that we have. And every candidate who comes, we will have this conversation with them saying that we want a long-term, commitment here. So you learn, you see a project, cycle of a project. That is for you to first watch. First is you watch how it happens. Second is you are doing it. You are an active part of it along with somebody. That's a second cycle. And then the third cycle is there is an opportunity for you to lead the project, and we are just in the background watching you if you're doing it good. So then they are prepared for the market. I mean, going out and doing things on their own.
Fair.
There's a very wrong misconception that architecture students think that we are spending 5 years and right out of college we will have our own practices. I think I would like to use this platform and tell people also that do not think of the less fee or the low fee that you pay to get to hire these kind of young architects. Cost is not the only thing for you when it comes to building of a project. If there are mistakes, then there are mistakes in your project.
Fair.
Right? So they need to learn. The schools only give you exposure. This is what this architect has done. This is what this architect has done. This is the school. This is the tool. This is the skill that you need to know. These are the things that you need to learn in the school. That's all is known to them. It's just that one primary version of exposure to architecture they have. When they come to practice, when they work in an office, is when they are seeing how the projects are done, what are the nuances of getting things done. It's never the same skills that they have learned here. Here you need people skills. Here you need skills to work on ground. Here you need fitness to be there on site, even if you have to climb 5 flight of stairs, or you have to be in the sun from morning till evening to get the designs happen. It needs a lot of patience. So much required to be there on ground and to be doing it all right. So that's the exposure you get in an office. And
so can I say exposure is given by the institution, experience is given by Right Inspires?
Yes. Any architectural firm.
Fair. So you are acting like a finishing school probably
Yes.
for these young
Yes.
architects now.
Yes.
Awesome. So these are about domain skills.
Yeah.
What else do you check when hiring, or probably when you are confirming these interns as your own employees or team members, apart from domain skills?
Okay. So the little interactions that we can have with them, we do check if they fit into the culture of the office. If they do have an attitude which kind of, where we can operate in flow. It's very important because every person contributes to things in the office.
Correct.
So what are the kind of attitude, but people do evolve over years. They are not the same as they start. In terms of skills, in terms of attitude, people do evolve. So architecture being a very independent expression, like the individual in you is celebrated a lot for how the profession is. It's a creative profession. It's more to do with how you can approach things and you can get. So this whole aspect of it somewhere celebrates the individual within you. So everybody operates with that little ego in this field, be it young or little older. That individualism is there. So how they pan out today, if I were to check on a fresh hiring, I would see how they would do. How will they score as a team member? How well they would play as a team. I would look for those characteristics and traits rather than just the skill. Skills can be taught. The traits and the attitude is something that, it's very difficult to change if it is contrasting.
With you on that.
Yeah.
So my next question, very related to the answer you just gave.
Yeah.
Your profession celebrates individuality.
Yes.
So it was very similar to my earlier business also. I was into training business.
Okay.
As
Yeah.
a trainer, you
Same
stand on the stage, you own that space.
Yeah.
People, you can make people do things what you are saying. It's a very powerful position.
Yeah.
Now, in any of a profession like this, where, as you said, individuals are celebrated,
Yeah.
especially when you are turning that professional service into a business,
Yeah.
the most difficult thing for a owner is to develop someone to replace his or her operational work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
When did that happen to you? Because you told me that for a longest period of time you were the one who was facing clients, you were the hero of your business. What shifted? What made you say, okay, I'll give this entire thing to someone else and let them take the center stage? What happened?
Yeah.
If you can tell more about it.
So it was about this magical man who appeared on my Insta post saying, talking about a lot of problems that I was facing in my work, day-to-day work, and promising that there are solutions for that. It sounded like that. And I went on to, the connect made me feel that I will hear more of what he has to say. And I went on to, with that resistance that what architects do is not business, or what I do is not business, but what I do is practice. I don't know how relevant whatever you're saying is to the industry that I come from.
Got it.
With this resistance, I was in that resistance zone. I heard, and I went on to sign sessions of coaching after coaching, his programs, and then I got a hang of what really happens in the kind of firm that I am trying to operate. It is people coming together. Now, there is a science. What you call as a business is a science, and it can, the way you operate and the way you do things can improve if you followed a certain defined rules. So that magic really happened, and I must say that something more, I probably cannot watch a movie just like that. It has to be a very, very, very interesting movie. Recently I watched Durandar, which was 4 hours long movie, and I sat and I went for the second time with the children. And my husband Prashant was so surprised as to how did that movie get your attention. So outside of architecture and travel, I find it very difficult for anything to keep me engaged. And I could see that this whole thing about how to run a business, because that's something that I was struggling, right? Connected with me, and I took on to this learning process one after another. And in a most interesting thing that happened was when I signed up for MBA coaching. The coach out there, who looked like a very young girl, started questioning me as to what collections did you do for the month.
Okay.
I think that was a turning point. Till then, I had never asked myself, what collections come? How much, what money do we earn? Was even when I sat for those 2 hours, 3 hours in front of the auditor, it was all like going all over the place. Anything to do with expense or collection or whatever. So when when that started happening, I thought, okay, this is my business. Maybe I need to know. And in my own innocence, I started just preparing for that conversation of that monthly, MBA meeting as to what we collected. And slowly that awareness came that it is important to measure what we earn. So till then, there is no measure of what earning is there for the firm. There is no measure of what is spent on as a business expense.
Got it.
Absolutely, it is just staying in that, very, you just love being that architect, love doing your work, and you're just enjoying being there.
So this was a turning point. Now, having said that, didn't you feel insecure when you were developing your second line to take over what you are doing?
Actually, a few meetings when I would still be at office, and I'm not required to be there at the discussion table. And a few when I just shadowed, I felt they are just delivering. This is not the way to be. They're just delivering. They're not doing this, doing that. I could figure that out, but I still remember that one meeting on the discussion when there's a client and the young architects are there, and there was a very similar laughter and conversation that was happening if I were to be on that table. And that moment I said, hey, this is the way to go. And they've gotten it right. And I think that was one thing. And another thing was I was late for the meeting. I was not able to get to the meeting on time. And it was a very important estimation meeting that the team had to do. We had to discuss with the client. And I came probably like 20 minutes late. And I just came down, and then the team said, we explained everything about estimation. And the client approved the cost for the project. And I'm like, oh my God.
This can also happen.
This can also happen. That I thought was the very critical meeting which I had to do myself. And I just went on to hear, really? Did you do this right? Did you tell this? Did you tell that? And I had my own checklist as to, did they get all of this right? Did they? But they had done an amazing job of explaining everything that the client needed. And I also got a feedback from the client saying that, hey, this is going good. We are all good. Let's go ahead.
Fantastic. So what I'm taking away from this is it's all in the mind.
It's all in the mind.
Break that initial barrier,
Yeah.
go ahead, start developing, and it's a very fulfilling journey of developing second line leaders.
Yes.
Is what I'm taking back.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. And another beautiful thing that happens when you develop second line leaders is when you see them do things that what you could do, there's a very different kind of happiness there, because you now know that it feels very satisfying.
True.
That things there's this, and your pride will enhance, thinking that, hey, this is someone who I trained and they're able to do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you kind of take it easy and understand, now if I am able to do 10 projects on my own in a year and I cannot do more than that, there is another 10 the other person can do. So there's the double the number of impact that we can have, and we are doing something which is celebrated by our the people who we do for.
Absolutely.
Why not increase that happiness quotient?
It's just a leverage which you can increase through
Yes.
having more people. Fantastic. So what is your recommendation? Tell me one. It can be anything. It can be a skill, it can be a focus area. Apart from design, anyone fresh coming out of architecture, apart from the domain, what is that one skill or focus area you would want them to develop so that their journey towards this entire building a architecture business is smooth?
I think being an architect, it's very important for us to be ambitious. Yeah. We cannot, I mean, at least for today's architects, I would like to say that we cannot say that this profession doesn't pay us. We want to change this and say that, it's a very exciting profession to be in, and we can change life around us. When we have that power, why can't it pay us? That should be the approach.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, looking at your 20 years journey, see, what is that one hard truth about this specific profession of architecture that architects need to accept really early in their careers?
Accept?
Accept.
Huh.
What's that one hard truth that new architects should accept about
There
this?
is absolutely no cakewalk for you. There is lot of hard work where you're growing your skills. That doesn't come easy. It's an intense program. Your training of your skills for who you have to be as an architect is an intense program, and there is no shortcut for that. You have to go through that.
It's the hard truth. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I know even to this date, the challenges are different as compared to what they were a few years back when you were probably the hero of your business, doing all yourself. But the challenges are still there. Bigger challenges are there. What keeps you going?
What keeps me going? I have an office in the basement of my home, and every time there is a youngster at my doorstep to pick the key for the office, I think I'll have a shift in my mood at that moment. I don't know, it's always exciting to have and work with those young set of people, and to think that I can make a small difference in their lives.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So it was only clients at one point. Today it is the impact to the clients through your team is what I can
Yes.
see in your eyes.
Yes.
Amazing. It was a fantastic conversation. Now, before I let you go,
Yeah.
we have a section called rapid fire. Okay.
Okay.
Now these questions I'll be very quick and you can't think too much.
I can't think
You
too much.
should fat answer to this. Okay. So it's going to be fun. We'll
Okay.
do a rapid fire right now. Okay.
Yes.
I know you're a very passionate person. Passion, strength or weakness?
Passion is a weakness.
Passion is a weakness, and the audience will get why you're saying that today. Okay. Awesome. Saying yes to clients, growth or trap?
Trap.
Trap. Awesome. Pricing high for your products and services, confidence or risk?
Confidence.
Confidence. Awesome. What would you choose? More projects or right project?
Right projects.
One thing architects should never compromise on. One thing.
Design quality.
Design quality. Okay. One mistake which you have done in your earlier days, which you would never repeat.
Working for free.
Fantastic. One truth architects avoid hearing.
One truth architects avoid hearing, that we can be prosperous. I mean, it's a paying profession.
Got it. Before I close, if you had to say one or a few words to describe your journey of building this architecture firm, Right Inspires, building such a beautiful team of people and creating such amazing impact, and you're continuing to do that, how would you summarize your journey of you passing out of that BR college in Ramaya to this date? What would you say? Your closing words.
Every day was like a roller coaster ride, but I enjoyed it with so much of, being there and celebrating each moment. So it was that there is wow moment every day. And if you think that it is tiring, it can get tiring. But if you take that as exciting, there's so much the profession has to offer. And I think being an architect and being an entrepreneur myself is the best thing that I could have ever done in my life.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Pratima. It was great having this conversation with you. I hope you learned a lot from this podcast. Do share this with someone who wants to start an architecture business without losing on creativity. And if you found this useful, we are not just talking online. We are building offline communities with entrepreneurs and business owners across different cities. The link for the same is in the description. Please do fill out the link if you want to be a part of this community. I'll see you in the next episode.